look at me, I'm just a tiny piece of sorghum. Ripe sorghum. Oh wait, no, it is me. Hello everybody, this is Bench85. Welcome back to another episode of Farming Simulator 22, and welcome to August. I completely skipped through July. I sold a bunch more bales, and by the way, if you're wondering how many bales I had, it was 32 over there. And I did, if you look here, right here, I did cut this huge area here, and I got like 41 bales off of that. Sold every one of those. So let's see here, the sorghum and the oats are ready, which means we have straw and sorghum, which means it's time for us to get out our trusty combine. It's like the first time this thing's actually done something. Oh, no, not the corn head. Not the corn head. Make sure we go to the right head here. And we're gonna have to sell it all because we have no place for storage. Which is okay for now. Oh, pick it up as such. Apparently the hydraulics don't do anything. Ooh, look at that nice shiny head. Pretty cool. Alright, so let's take a look at doing this. We have it on enable straw swath. I don't think there's going to be any straw for this. What's beeping? Oh, it's the weather station, isn't it? Aha, that's what was making noise. Camera got close enough because we went like this. All makes sense. So we're gonna unfold this guy. There. Ooh. It's got the black plastic skid plates in it. Very cool. So let's fire this guy up. Oh, is it only... It's only actually taken off the top. That is interesting. Ah, so that's where mulching comes in. Trying to see if they have the different working parts moving here. I don't actually see anything moving. Kind of disappointed because all of the pieces and parts and the shaker decks and stuff should all be working. It is an axle flow. I'm not exactly sure why it doesn't work. But regardless, if you look, it is harvesting, but it's kind of interesting how it's doing it. I guess that's just one more step in the process, right? So we are gonna probably grab this tractor, because it's a big boy, and we'll hook her up to our wagon here, which is all hydraulic, and we'll be ready to go here. Time arises. So if I run this over, no, it's just like stubble in the field. Interesting. And this guy is finishing up the row. He's at 29%, so down there he'll be around 60%, and back up here he'll be at 90%, so we'll have to unload on the next pass. One thing we're going to have to look at then is we're going to need a mulcher of some sort. Right here's the mulchers. That thing is huge. 11 miles an hour. So it is decent amount. Probably look at something like this. Now, I haven't found it yet. Oh, this is for like the front of the vehicle. You put this on the front, and then I think you can put the something to dig behind it, possibly. That one just kind of chews it up as you go along. And that's the little guy. Oh, so it looks like it can be run either direction. It's got a 3-point on either side. Does this one? See, that one only runs the one side. 200 horsepower. So we could do that. So that might be our best option. So if you go here and you look, it says weeds are growing, which there is definitely weeds down in there. What's interesting is it doesn't show it here. It must just be starting to form. Well, regardless, we're gonna have to mulch the soil. And the goal then is to get it dug, and we'll plant in some winter wheat for more straw. So we can start growing canola, so we can dig or get that going, and then wheat and barley we can do as well. Barley's the early crop. Potatoes, sorghum. So it all kind of lines up like it's supposed to. I guess it's done. How do I want to say it? Like for us, when we used to take oats off, because we had cover cropped oats on top of alfalfa if we were growing hay, and you wouldn't want to take all of the alfalfa off, so you just kind of clip the top off and get a little bit of straw. It's kind of what it's doing. But I do wish there was a mod where you could run the mulcher through and it would actually turn it into a windrow, which is what a lot of farmers do, especially with like corn stalks. It shouldn't necessarily be. Oh. Let's see if I can get this timed right. That should work. Now we'll see weight-wise how much this trailer will actually hold. It shouldn't be the combine that's dropping the straw swath when it comes to like corn and stuff like that. It should actually be Mulcher, or as we used to call it, Flail Chopper. This guy's practically full already. Now the interesting part is the different crops will actually show different amounts in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to let him come down and do one more pass, and then I'm going to unload or fill it all the way up, and we'll see how much we have for this crop. And then when we go to the oats, we'll fill that one up and we'll see how much that one goes and see how things change between the crops. Now, certain crops are going to be heavier. Corn is going to be a heavier crop, whereas your cereal crops, such as like sorghum, which has that nice red look to it, or wheat, oats or wheat, stuff like that, should be lighter and should be able to fit more in it. So let's see how much. I really want to go look and see if there are mods now for the mulchers, because I feel like that would be a great addition, because then we could run through this and we could take straw off. I don't think Straw Plus or anything like that has been used yet, so I'll be curious to see. Then we'll have to dig the fields, and we'll have to see if we run certain. We'll probably run the disc harrow through. think I can do that, because then we won't get rocks. And no rocks would be a benefit. I don't remember what the downside is to running the disc harrow through instead of the cultivator. I don't remember if that's documented or not. But it would sure be interesting to determine that. So let's fill it up and see just how much is in there. Looks like 9,000 is going to be roughly 3/4, so I bet you about 12,000 units is what is going to be available to us. And start filling again. Survey says 12,000. Oh, 12,100. Sorry, I was a little bit off. So we should be able to pull this guy back. He's kind of low on fuel. We'll probably fill it up while we're at the shop. Sunflowers are looking good. We're actually seeing flowers up on top. It does look interesting though when that sorghum's not like fully taken off. Very interesting. And look at that, the hay's growing back. You can barely tell it was cut, except it doesn't have any flowers on it. I wonder where that... Let me set this. We're gonna look quick. Once I get this guy on his route straight. Oh, you know what? I want to see something here. So that's home. So if we do create a job, and we do loading station, and we're going to do... Or no. No, we're going to do deliver. Does he not count? Oh, does it not count as a delivery point? Does not support AI discharging. Oh. I was gonna try to hire the super worker. What was I gonna check? Oh, I know what I was gonna check. So if we add in grass as an option here. Apparently that's... Oh, maybe because it's not actually planted grass, it doesn't count. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, let's find out how much this load pays for. And then we gotta get back because he's gonna be getting full. And then we need to check on a mod. Or I need to check on a mod. Just see if I can find anything. Because I am very curious now. I knew it wouldn't work in FS19. But I'm curious now that that implementation of a mulcher or a chopper of some sort is there. No, it's not going to be super great. I do like this trailer though. It's a nice dump bed. It's like a construction dump bed. $7,500. That's less than a load of bales. Because I was taking bales up to the shop at 12 apiece. It was working really good. That's cool. You hear that? The trailer as it's unloading. That's really cool. Or folding back up, you can hear it go doom doom because it's echoing because of the shape and stuff. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna keep taking stuff off. I'll meet you guys either when I find a mod or let you know about that, or if we're over by the oats. Alright, well, got all of the sorghum off. It looks weird seeing all of the whatever, the stock still there. Regardless, there is no mod right now that does what I want to do, so we're gonna move on to the lovely Oats over here. I enabled the straw swath so we can get some straw and we can bale it up. Should probably check this before I go any further. Lots of dry weather, good. Alright, let's see how straw comes off. So like here, I feel like you shouldn't have to mulch it, right? You're taking it off completely. So we'll have to check that out when we get into mulching. Drops a pretty good swath though. We'll just have to run our baler across. Although, you know, it'd be really cool is if this was close enough together that we could run our baler like and do two swaths at once. Ooh, we're gonna have to try that. That would be pretty cool. It'd be epic. Boy, the noise. You can hear the sickle moving back and forth. The tick, 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 tick. That sounds cool. For some reason, the animation has not changed in the back. With the straw swath running, those beaters should not be turning. There shouldn't be any beaters there. So that's a broken part of the thing. Our soybeans are looking good though. Very, very green. Let's see what they look like when it gets a little further along. Alright, well, we had fun playing around up there. Well, this is going to be too far apart. We'll still try it. But I'm going to take the straw off here, and we'll see about mulching when we come back. Alright, so I may have mentioned one of these mods before, but you'll kind of see it in action here. You see how it shaved off the straw that was on the ground where I was working? Oh, there's going to be a little stand here. Yep, took some more off there. So, just a word of warning, if you're using that mod, you will probably lose some of your straw on these odd-shaped fields. But, that's just kind of how it works. So, the oats is officially taken off. I think there's more in here than this wagon can handle. I'll have to make another trip. It's kind of cool that they changed it now. So first of all, you see the RPMs raise up when it's unloading. And secondly, it will not unload, nor will the auger move if it's like 1,000. 973 left. If the engine's not off. So here, I can't move it. Can't do anything. And if I go underneath there, it will not unload. So, kind of a cool little thing. Pretty much how it should be. And in case you're wondering, Oats is the exact same as the sorghum. 12,100 liters to fill this guy up. But I think this trailer can hold like a lot more weight capacity than most of the other like trailers, because it's built for heavy duty stuff. So we may not see much of a difference. I guess we'll see when we get into like corn and soybeans, which has a little more mass to it. I'm going to take this back. I got a little bit more, obviously, to bring back, or to sell. And then we will get to the mulcher. No, not get to the mulcher. Well, yeah, we'll grab a mulcher and take a look at that. And then we'll start baling straw, because we got time. We got time to bale straw. I'm not too worried about it. But unfortunately, I couldn't finish combining last night. I had to finish this morning. I had just a little bit left. But it's all good. All good. So, I'll see you guys when we grab a mulcher. So, I did decide to go with the Flail Chopper, this style. Give you an example. Big rotating drum there, and all of those things that stick out are considered flails. basically smack everything around and chew it off and send it back onto the surface. Now, when I mentioned about the mod that I wish there was, generally they could make these where instead of it being open all the way across the back, because you'll see it here when I start mulching, you'll start throwing stuff everywhere. So let me get her lined up here. I have a feeling it's going to chew off grass too, but we'll see. So you'll see here, start chewing up like crazy, right? Swinging around. And this back piece here would normally... Oh yeah. Yeah, she chews off grass too. Look at that. So yeah, as it comes back out the back like that, you could basically put baffles in like you would with a mower, and then it would only come out the center, and then you would have like a row per se of stuff you could chop up. So now it's not listed as fertilized. I guess it doesn't specify whether you mulch it or not, but I think when you dig it in, it'll actually add fertilizer. You can see, however, there are weeds starting to grow. Little guys starting to come up, which is unfortunate, but it's part of the game, right? I thought about getting a little bit smaller one, a different style, but this guy didn't have enough horsepower to run it. Or no, if I would have got the smaller one, this guy would have had it, but I feel like that 3-point style like this is the best option for size and stuff like that. So that's what I went with, and it'll all work out in the end. The only downside is I can't use the baler with the other tractor, so this guy is going to have to wait, because I don't think I can. We can try it though. But I'm pretty sure this thing is going to struggle heavily if I put the baler on the back of it. But I'm always curious to try, right? We also wanted to see if the rows were close enough together that the baler could grab 2 at once. We got, let's see here, this. Hook her all up. And she kind of struggles to pull it regardless. And it looks tiny compared to the baler behind it. Alright, we'll drop these down. I kind of want to see here. If I go right down the middle. No, you know what? I think it will. I think it'll grab both rows. So we'll start her up. Let's see how this thing does. Oh, it switched to straw right away. That's interesting. So it didn't stay as a hay bale. Well, that's kind of nice that it switches. We are running full-size bales. I don't know what these sell for, but we'll probably want to hang on to some of them. Although we guess we do have winter wheat coming around next year. So, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% certain when I'm going to start doing animals. Look at that, though. That's really cool that you can basically do 2 rows. We'll obviously have to do some cleanup here on the turns. There we go. Now we're good. But look at that. We can bale with this tractor. Although if you notice, like we're at 11 miles per hour now, 10, and then we start going up the hill, it goes like 8, 7. So it does struggle. It just doesn't quite have the horsepower it needs to do it. But we kind of assume that. So I'm really curious how many bales we end up getting out of this. So far, we got 2 of them on the ground. Could be better, could be worse. But we also got to get some of this stuff dug. Yeah, see, we were down to like 5 miles an hour there. which is not ideal. Oh, almost. Trying to sweep this corner just right so we didn't lose anything. It'll take some practice, but we'll get her down at some point here. Very cool. All right, so I'm gonna have to think about this animal situation, see what we want to do, see what we want to go with first. Obviously, I want to lean towards cows right away, and that might be a good thing to start with. Get some income coming in on milk, and then we can utilize that to get other animals going. I don't know. It's a tough question always. So there was the sweep over, but then we missed this section here. So we do have to back up and grab it, and then we're good to go. So, fair enough. Not too serious. But the fact that we can take 2 passes at once is absolutely amazing, which is the whole reason why I got this baler. I'm so impressed. Alright, let me think about this animal thing, and we'll wrap up the episode kind of with a plan on what we want to do. You know, as I'm watching this guy cruise along here, mulching off these plants, I can't help thinking to myself how the brown sorghum can get chopped and turn green, and then fall on the ground brown again. It just blows my mind. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but it's just... apparently it's the physics of the game. You know what we probably should do? I probably should be loading up straw bales. And, let's back on there. Should remember how to drive this thing. I've been using it a bunch. Oh gosh. Maybe I haven't been using it enough. Perfect. So I probably should mention too, I know that straw isn't as prevalent as hay, so usually we get less straw bales than we do hay bales, but I was thinking to myself, the windrows are pretty strong, like we should be getting more straw bales. I felt like it was taking forever. And then I realized something very important. And if I bring you out to a straw bale, I can explain that. We're just gonna park this guy like out in the middle here, because he's got a lot of straw bales to find. If I go up to a straw bale, you know what I'll find? There's 9,000 liters of straw. Remember how I said straw is less dense? Well, what it does is it packs it denser and makes it into a 9,000 liter bale instead of an 8,000 liter bale. So that would be the difference between hay and straw. Pretty cool, right? That would 100% be realistic, because especially if we were taking off like wheat straw, because it's very pure. And I mean oat straw would be too here if you're not using it as a cover crop. Obviously our straw lots of times had weeds and bits of hay and stuff in it, and so it wasn't as pure and it wouldn't pack as well. But when we were taking wheat straw off, like it was like this, where it's just pure dried up straw. It packed really nice. Like you popped one of those bales open, for one thing they weren't as heavy, and when you popped them open, man, they went forever. Like there was so much material in those bales. It was so cool. Come on. Snap back. There we go. So that means when we sell these, we're going to have even more material in there to sell, which is kind of cool. And 12 bales is definitely the ideal amount for this trailer. I have found that out. As far as animals go, we're going to talk about that, right? So I was looking, and cows are expensive, as they should be. They're much more expensive in this game, and obviously we have more setup to do. So while I was originally going to chop some of the hay, or chop some of the corn and make it into corn silage to be used for cows, I'm not going to go that route. We are just going to harvest the corn as is and just basically cash crop it. That's going to be the plan. And like all these items that we're using you know, the straw, the hay bales that we're making. It's all going to be sold just for profit. That's going to be the goal here. But I think cows are going to be like the last thing we move into. So first off, we're going to be probably looking at bees. Bees I want to do right away because they're different and new and cool, and I want to explore bees. And then I want to get sheep right away because sheep will get wool in the springtime here, so we'll have some income coming in. And plus we'll have enough hay around here that we can feed them. We just gotta bale up some hay. Not a big deal. And then chickens, I think, is the next thing we're going to want to do. Beyond that, probably pigs and horses. But like I said, this gameplay, I want to basically have all animals running. So when we purchase a new animal, we are not going to be selling the old animal like we were. We're just going to keep expanding the farm and make it basically as complicated as possible. We're going to see how that works out. And it's going to be crazy, and it's going to be cool, hopefully. And we'll see what all happens. But next episode, we're going to get some bees going and probably get some sheep going. Get that figured out, which means I got some more hay to bale. I got to find some hay to bale. But that shouldn't be too hard. There's another stretch of land that we own that I have not done anything with yet that we can very easily bale. And then on top of that, like one of these fields here, we're probably going to have to turn into an actual hay field. So we'll plant it as hay, and then we can fertilize it and do all those sorts of things and get like really good crops out of it instead of just harvesting like meadow grass. It'll be better for the animals anyways. And I have to think about it. Like I said, I wasn't going to chop, but maybe we should consider chopping just to get some silage that we can sell. But I don't know where the barn's going to be, so I don't think we're going to do that. So I think we'll stay away from that. So yeah, next episode will be bees and sheep. And we will probably, well, for sure we will be planting some stuff because we got to get some winter wheat in and probably some canola. So like 2 of these fields here will be probably the 2 that I'm on right now. The oats fields will probably be canola that I'll put in. And then the 2 fields that had sorghum on, we'll put winter wheat on. And get those planted for next spring to harvest. Will be the plan. And we'll probably run out of time. After all that, we probably won't have time to harvest corn and soybeans. We probably won't get that far. But I guess we'll see what happens. So with that, guys, thank you all for watching. I'll let you know how much the straw bales are worth, whether it's different or whether it's better than hay or less, and we'll see how that goes. But until next time, well, I should say thank you all for watching. Until next time, as always, take it easy. There we go. Perfect.